Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watchers live stream for December 18th, 2024. We're getting close to the end. Hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. Of course, my name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your lovely hosts. Couple things here. Horan Moore says, Salut! Salut! Hope you're having a great day so far, Nadia. Same to you, Mr. Joey Sloncha.
What's that?
That is the Irish cheers, like when you take a shot of something, you say sluncha.
Okay.
But hope you're all having a fantastic day so far.
Yep.
Fantastic week, Kevin. I know you've been haven't been feeling well the last couple of days, but hopefully you're good enough to join us for the stream tonight.
Yeah, so, I'll just be probably very tired afterwards, but it's okay.
That's all right. But as for me, it's been busy. Watched a lot of movies over the last week, which we'll get to talk about a little bit later. But let's go ahead. We have a lot to talk about today because, like last week, we have some awards nominations that have come out. And this time we have the Critics' Choice Awards nominations. Typically, I wouldn't share these on the stream or the channel, but these are actually a very good indication of who is winning or going to be nominated for the Academy Awards, at least. So might as well just go ahead and,
run
get
through
away.
it.
So I'm going to go pretty quick because a lot of them are similar to the Golden Globes, but we'll go ahead and breeze right through them. So up first for Best Score, we have Conclave, The Brutalist, The Wild Robot, Amelia Perez, Challengers, and Dune Part 2. Pretty much the same exact nominations as the Golden Globes. For Best Song, we have Beautiful That Way from The Last Showgirl, Compress Repress from Challengers, El Mal from Amelia Perez, Harper and Will Go West from Will and Harper, a surprise nomination there, Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot, and Mi Camino from Amelia Perez. Up next, we have Best Foreign Language Film. We have All We Imagine Is Light, Amelia Perez, Flow, I'm Still Here, Kneecap, and The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Flow being the surprise nomination here because there's no dialogue in it, so cool to see it get a second nomination, though. For Best Comedy, we have A Real Pain, Deadpool and Wolverine, Hitman, My Old Ass, Saturday Night, and Thelma. So those are the nominations for Best Comedy this year. For Best Animated Feature, we have Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. Most likely, these are our 5 for the Academy Awards this year as well. So you're going to hear a lot about these. Next, Best Visual Effects. We have Gladiator 2, Wicked, Dune Part 2, Better Man, The Substance, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. For Best Hair and Makeup, we have Beetlejuice, Dune Part 2, The Substance, Wicked, Nosferatu, and A Different Man. Best Costume Design, we have Conclave, Nosferatu, Maria, Wicked, Dune Part 2, and Gladiator 2. A lot of genre nominations in this one, which is fantastic. Best Editing, we have Anora, Challengers, Conclave, The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, and September 5th. For Best Production Design, we have The Brutalist, Wicked, Conclave, Nosferatu, Gladiator 2, and Dune Part 2. For Best Cinematography, we have Nosferatu, Wicked, The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, and Nickel Boys. For Best Adapted Screenplay, we have Amelia Perez, Wicked, Sing Sing, Nickel Boys, Conclave, and Dune Part 2. For Best Original Screenplay, we have Anora, September 5th, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, The Substance, and Challengers. For Best Director, we have Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Sean Baker for Anora, Edward Berger for Conclave, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, John M. Chu for Wicked, Coralie Fargeau for The Substance, Ramel Ross for Nickel Boys, and Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2. For Best Acting Ensemble, this is a cast as a whole. We have Anora, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Saturday Night, Sing Sing, and Wicked. For Best Young Actor or Actress, we have Aaliyah Brown, I'm not saying it correctly, from Furiosa, Elliot Heffernan from Blitz, Maisie Stella from My Old Ass, Isaac Wang for Dee Dee, Alicia Weir for Abigail, and Zoe Ziegler for Janet Planet. Best Supporting Actress, we have Danielle Deadweiler for The Piano Lesson, Anjanou Ellis-Taylor for Nickel Boys, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Margaret Qualley for The Substance, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. Best Supporting Actor, we have Yura Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Denzel Washington for Gladiator 2. Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez, Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truths, Angelina Jolie for Maria, Mikey Madison for Anora, and Demi Moore for The Substance. Best Actor, we have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Daniel Craig for Queer, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Hugh Grant for Heretic, getting another acting nomination, which is awesome. And finally, Best Picture, the 10 nominees are A Complete Unknown, Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing, The Substance, and Wicked. So there are your nominees this year for the Critics'
I love
Choice
how
Awards.
the Best Picture has so many categories in it. It's not just dominated by one category, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Mm-hmm.
But some exciting stuff there. I mean, for those of us who have seen a lot of these kind of award nomination films, a lot of them are really good. So let's go ahead and see here. So how did everything turn out last week? Made just in time. By the way, what do you think of the new teaser poster for it's Superman, not Superman Legacy, just called Superman? Think it looks great, and the teaser footage looks pretty good. Can't wait for the trailer tomorrow. Deadpool and Wolverine was an action feature, also was comedy as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching a PowerPoint presentation. It was a Google slideshow.
Where's your laser pointer next time?
Yeah. Why is everything Dune Part 2? Because Dune Part 2 is one of the best movies of the year. So, and then why is Twisters not included? Because it was not one of the best movies of the year, but it was still very good. Anyhow, so that's the Critics' Choice nominations. Go ahead and pass it over to our man, Kevin.
Me. Wicked Part 2 is now called Wicked for Good and really is going to be released in November 21st. I'm guessing of next year.
Well, considering November has already passed, yeah, it'll be next year.
That's true.
Excuse me.
I don't know. For Good, that means I guess it is the last of the series, but I don't know if that's a good name for it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about it either. I think maybe like Wicked, like she's bad for good, like she's just bad from that point on, or she's wicked for a good purpose. Who knows?
Or wicked good.
Or wicked good.
Yeah.
Next up, unfortunately, there are no plans for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 3 to release in 2025.
That is okay.
It's okay. Take your time and make another fantastic movie. Like literally, they will have one of the best trilogies of all time on their hands if they can nail the landing.
Exactly. Next up, Ghostbusters star McKenna Grace joins Scream 7 with Courtney Cox and Mason Gooding set to return. I don't know if there's anything else on there, but let's see. No, that's it. Nope. Okay. Cool. I just have to see where they're going with this movie. That's it.
100%. Next up, kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, we did get a poster, this first poster for Superman, and we got the teaser trailer for the teaser trailer today, and we are getting the teaser trailer tomorrow.
So many teases in this.
One of the most important trailers in a while, because if DC can get back on their feet, that's what's going to be important here. But that teaser was actually really good, and it sounds like they're using the original Superman score just kind of redone, and it sounds fantastic. So very cool. I am all here for it.
Cool. Next up, Barbie 2 is in early development, but they have an idea, but want to get it right. So there's no rushing, and there should be no rushing in filmmaking. So that is okay.
Yeah, and it sounds like the studios don't want to rush it either. The directors and people working on it don't want to rush it. They'll make it when it's the right thing to do, and if it's not the right idea, they won't do it.
Exactly.
Because it was a self-contained movie. The only reason they'll try and make another one is because they made over $1 billion. I mean, also the first movie's really good, but they're going to want to keep it going.
Exactly.
Next up, Mr. Ryan Reynolds is given an update on Deadpool 4. However, he's staying quiet on Avengers 5 and 6 appearances, basically stating that he would love to do a Deadpool 4 if it's with Wolverine again. However, he is kind of past the point. He feels like he's completed his arc and wants to. He feels like he's best as a side character. He's best as an addition to a movie and not as its own movie after this.
He's like the comic relief in the movie. I feel like he could be that guy.
Well, while also being able to present some decent skills and do his own thing. But, he just, he wants to have fun with it and not kind of force anything.
Yeah.
So, very important.
Yep. Next up, Haley Atwell will to return to the MCU for Avengers Doomsday as Agent Carter. Doesn't she voice Britain too? Captain Britain?
Captain Carter.
Oh, Captain Carter. Okay.
Yeah, Captain Britain's a different character, but
yeah, that's what I meant. Captain Carter, but
yeah, she might be returning to play that character as well. We don't know. Just know that she is coming back to the MCU for some reason.
Cool. Very cool.
Alrighty, very exciting news because I love this series. Idris Elba wants to do a Cyberpunk 2077 movie with Keanu Reeves. Yes, please.
Yeah, all for it.
Literally my favorite franchise, one of my favorite games in the last couple of years, favorite universes. Please do it, please. That's before they get too old.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Next up, Jennifer Love Hewitt is officially returning for I Know What You Did Last Summer. Cool, awesome. Get that fan base kind of excited about that, but again, have to see a trailer. I feel like then I'll start to get a little bit more hyped up about it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's exciting for fans. So.
Exactly.
Talking about classic movies here, a new Chitty Chitty Bang Bang version is in development at Amazon, which is a rather surprising bit of news. This is a classic, I don't think it's Disney, I might have to double check, but a classic kind of family film about a flying car that is potentially going to get reworked. So if they can do it right and get the right people, go for it.
Exactly. Oh, my computer's being slow. Next up, new Tom and Jerry movie is in the works. I heard was the first one good?
Well, there was one that came out like right around the time of the pandemic, and it was like widely hated.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I don't know about this one.
Hey, you can only go up from there.
You know what? I like that. You can only go up from there. Speaking of some middling reviews, Mufasa the Lion King, the film that's coming out this week, despite some very glowing reviews that it's been getting, has earned a mediocre review score. As of the time of right now, on on Rotten Tomatoes, it currently has a 60% critic rating, and over on Metacritic, it has a 58. Which doesn't really line up with some of the things that I've been seeing and reading online. A lot of people saying it's fantastic. So who knows? Maybe it's just the news outlets that I follow and the people they have reviewing it. But, I mean, I feel like this is better than I was expecting, though, still.
Maybe it's the correct ones that you follow and not the other ones.
Who knows? There is no correct in movie criticism. It's all, it's all bias.
True. Next up, the Chainsaw Massacre is among the 25 films added to the National Film Registry this year. Every year, the Library of Congress recognizes 25 films to be selected for preservation in the National Film Registry. The requirements must be that the film has at least a decade old and considered culturally, historical, or I'm not even going to try aesthetically important.
Yeah, this is something that the Library of Congress does every year, and it's usually things that people submit, like fans and critics and people in the industry. A couple other films that were added this year, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like the biggest one, which was pretty sweet to see added this year. Alrighty. Next up here, Matt Reeves is currently finishing the script for the Batman Part 2. Again, good. Take your time. Make it good. Because the first one's great.
I mean, don't rush things, especially in movies. Get us hyped about the movie instead of trying to rush it to theaters.
Exactly.
Yep. Next up, Red One is Oh my gosh, Red One is Prime Video's most watched movie on debut, because it's the holidays and it has Chris Evans and The Rock in it. That's why.
Yep, and I knew that movie was going to be popular as soon as it hit streaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but that is it.
Oh, I was gonna say it just felt like a streaming movie.
Yeah, one that was made for like 5 times the budget of a normal streaming movie, but that's okay. But that's it for all the news stories this week. Thank you all for hanging in. I know it was we kind of breezed through a lot of stuff, but there was a lot to talk about. Let's see here. Let's see here. Still going to refer to it as Wicked Part 2.
I think it's a better name actually. So.
Well, we know the Superman Legacy trailer. Yep, we just talked about that. It's coming tomorrow, and it's just called Superman. No Legacy. I don't know. Deadpool being a supporting character in an MCU movie feels like a tightrope walk just to get it right. 100%. But like the movies that are coming up are just, the Avengers ones, really. So he's going to be a supporting character
anyway.
So, let's see here. Doubt it. Tom and Jerry animated movie in '92 is bad as well.
No.
Well,
didn't even know they made one in '92.
Alrighty. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the trailers that came out this week, though. Kevin, I know we watched a lot of these together just before this. What stood out to you this week?
I would say the two that stood out good for me are Karate Kid Legends and Warfare and Death of a Unicorn. Looked really good. The ones that I'm very iffy about, or the one that I'm very iffy about, is the day the Earth blew up a Looney Tunes movie. I don't know why it was made. That's what I'm getting at. And watching the trailer, there's some like very adult jokes in there too. So I don't know what kind of crowd they're going for.
Well, I mean, Looney Tunes always had adult jokes. Like it was for everyone. So, but I think Karate Kid Legends looks like it's going to be great. Warfare looks like it's going to be fantastic. Directed by Alex Garland, who did Civil War this year, and an Iraq War veteran who is directing the film and writing it from memory, which is really cool. And then, Death of the Unicorn also looks like it is going to be
fun.
Really fun. With a great cast too. So, but Kevin, let's go ahead and dive. We had a comment here. Let's just make sure. Yes, there was another Lilo and Stitch teaser. I thought I put that in there. Alrighty, so let's dive into the box office this weekend.
Yeah. So coming up first, Moana 2 with $2.6 million. Number 2, Wicked, almost catching up actually with $22.5 million. Third, Kraven the Hunter with $11 million. Fourth is Gladiator 2 with $7.8 million, and War of the Rohirrim with $4.6 million, breaking the top 5.
That is what is so surprising this week, and I'm so happy because that movie we'll talk about it a little bit later. It's a great movie, a good movie if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. So the fact that an anime film broke the top 5 in a month, we had Moana, Wicked, and Gladiator.
Yeah. And American animation studios as well, because you get some Japanese animated studios that can break the top 5 sometimes, but not a lot of American. Yeah,
like the Demon Slayer ones usually do pretty well when they come out.
Yeah, those are always going to do great.
So, but let's go ahead and talk about the movies that are coming out this week. And up first is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails reunite against a powerful new adversary, Shadow, a mysterious villain with powers unlike anything they've faced before. With their abilities outmatched, Team Sonic must seek out an unlikely alliance. Apparently, this is the best film in the trilogy so far. So if you're a Sonic fan...
That's what I've heard, too. And have you seen the interview with... who plays Dr. Eggman? It's Jim Carrey, right?
Yeah.
He goes, I did double the work for the same amount of pay. I just thought that was hilarious because that's such like a real world thing to say.
Yep, exactly. Number 2 is Mufasa the Lion King. Mufasa, a cub lost and alone, meets a sympathetic lion named Taka, the heir to a royal bloodline. The chance meeting sets in motion an expansive journey of a group of misfits searching for their destiny. I've been kind of piqued my interest since we got the first trailer. I'm one of the more people that's a little bit more positive on the 2019 Lion King, so I'm excited to kind of see this technology once again. Up next is Baby Girl. A high-powered CEO puts her career and family on the line when she begins a torrid affair with her much younger intern. This movie looks like it is going to be a stressful time, which, I mean, hey, I'm okay with some stress
like that.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully not as bad as Uncut Gems. Well, Uncut Gems is a very good movie. I'm talking about like the level of stress.
Oh yeah,
but oh man. And lastly, one of the big award season movies this year, The Brutalist. When visionary architect Laszlo Toth and his wife Elizabeth flee post-war Europe in 1947 to rebuild their legacy and witness the birth of modern America, their lives are changed forever by a mysterious, wealthy client. I am super excited for this movie. Going to be available to screen in 70mm and in VistaVision, which is kind of not used very much anymore.
What's VistaVision?
It's a type of film. So it was used more during the 70s and before. But be warned, this is a 3.5-hour movie for anyone who does not know.
Okay.
So, but that is it for the stuff that's coming out this weekend, and that puts an end to all of our scripted content for this week. We had a couple of contents here. Comments, contents, whatever. Looney Tunes of old had adult jokes that had some level of being clever. The ones in this trailer felt cheap. I hope the trailer was just bad. I want the movie to be good. That seems what the case. That is just a bad trailer.
And hopefully it is.
Hopefully it's just a bad trailer, but a good movie.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Now let's go ahead and get into the movies that we covered this week. So Kevin had watched quite a few less than I have. I'm trying to see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 8, and Kevin had 4. So I'll do 2, and then you do 1, and we can go that way. I can still do math. It's great. Up first for me, started off the week with a bang. Kraven the Hunter. One of the worst movies of the year. Man, I on the positive side, I think Aaron Taylor Johnson is like the only redeeming part of this movie. He's clearly having fun with what little he's given. He's a decent fit for the character. He's clearly in some really good shape, and he feels like a young Kraven. That took more of a little bit of an anti-hero approach as opposed to being a villain, which has been a problem with all these Spider-Man villain movies. But other than that, this film is so boring. It does nothing. The action scenes are dull. The first 45 minutes of this movie is the prologue. It's how Kraven became Kraven. It goes on for way too long.
That's way too long. Because if people know who Kraven are, then they're not going to want to know 45 minutes of who Kraven is.
It's just terrible. None of the cast is any good except for Taylor Johnson. It just does nothing. Like you feel nothing by the end of this movie. I saw this on Thursday, like the midnight release, quote unquote. I saw it at like 5 o'clock or whatever, and there were 3 other people in the theater with me. I sat in the back row, and I had the Game Awards on while I was watching this. That's how boring it was. I mean, I was paying attention and I was watching the movie, but it was terrible, man. Oh man, don't watch this movie. Luckily, it's the last Spider-Man villain movie.
Good.
So, up after that is a 1-hour-long anime film that is now available on Prime Video called Look Back, and this has cracked my top 20 list of the year. Look Back is this little film that I would not have heard about it if I wasn't browsing through Prime Video and saw it. It is a sincere, heartfelt kind of ode to friendship, possibilities, and the love of art and making things. It's one of those movies that you could watch this from any culture and you could pick up on the meanings of it. It's very, very emotional. I found myself kind of driven almost to tears at multiple points during this. And I found myself connecting in ways that I never thought I would to this movie, which is really fantastic. The characters are refreshingly down to earth. They feel very real. And it's easy to connect with them and their struggles. And, it is a powerful little movie for only being like 55 minutes long. So if you have an hour and you want to watch something really good, go ahead and check it out on Amazon Prime. Right.
Nice. Very
So
cool. I'm up
your
next.
first movie.
My first movie, Jack Frost, because horror comes with Christmas.
Obviously.
And this is such a cheesy good movie, like something we can put on the background of game night.
A guilty pleasure type movie.
Oh, absolutely. Is it horrible? Yes. Do you know when things are going to happen? Yes. But the kills are funny. The actors and actresses in this movie take this way too damn seriously, so it makes it even better. And then the snowman itself, Mr. Jack Frost, looks like a huggable little plushy toy that you would throw to your dog half the time with oven mitts on as hands. So really, it's just fantastic because of how bad it is. So I give it a 55 out of 100. Just a great, let's watch something that's real bad but real good at the same time.
Gotcha. All right, there's Kevin's first movie. Back over to me. I watched the 2024 documentary on Netflix, Will and Harper. This is what I would consider to be an essential piece of viewing for those who are trying to get a little bit more of an understanding into the experiences and lives of trans people. This documentary follows Will Ferrell and his friend, who was a former writer from SNL that I believe right before COVID, I might be misremembering, but right before COVID, made the transition from male to female. And it is a beautiful look into friendship. Like, obviously, her transness is a big part of the film, but it's also about, anytime any friend goes through something, the death of a loved one, a new promotion, or something that can kind of distance people, how does your friendship evolve from that? How do you, move on from that positively, negatively, whatever? And it's a lot of that. And it's really something kind of special. The relationship between the friends is the heart and soul of the movie. There are some incredibly positive moments that happen in this movie. There are some really, destructive moments that also happen in this movie, but that is the life of people in the trans community right now. This is a genuine and touching film. And the only thing I would say is that it really is focusing on just Harper's experiences and not the community as a whole, which can make some people feel a little bit left out. But this documentary does seem to be getting really well received from everyone. So if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. It is on Netflix and will most likely potentially get the Oscar nomination this year. We'll just have to wait and see.
Nice.
Up after that, speaking of awards nominations, Conclave, which just was made available on Peacock. And I never get tired of saying wow. So I'm going to say wow. This movie is a really intense thriller about a process that we don't get to see. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'm not religious. I in no way care any way whatsoever who is the new pope. I could not give less of a shit. This movie makes you give a shit. At the end of the day, it's a bunch of catty bitches trading drama in dresses, and it is fantastic. The cast is great here. Ray Fiennes, awesome as Cardinal Lawrence, easily the best performance of the movie. Isabella Rossellini is also really good as well as the head sister. And then the entire cast, the entire ensemble is really, really good in this film. It's full of twists and turns that are near impossible to see coming. This movie ends on something that you have no idea is coming at all, which is really fantastic. But the ending is like a chef's kiss. It is fantastic. I don't want to spoil this movie. If you want to watch it at all, go in as blind as possible.
And that's what I did. I moved it up because you were talking about it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's he texted me to watch it, and I think I watched it that day. And yeah, it is a fantastic drama thriller in something that we don't get to see a lot in the certain circumstances. And it was different. I didn't know how they voted on a new pope if the other one passes away, so that was very interesting to learn about, and I like that history aspect of it. And the cinematography in this was fantastic. The painting above where they're voting and everything like that looked absolutely gorgeous. And then what's happening outside, I won't say anything, but outer conflicts come inside of the conclave. So, but 90 out of 100, really good 2024 movie. It is going to be on the ballot.
There you go, teaser for the upcoming Real Watchers Awards. Next up for me, I went and go ahead and saw The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim in theaters, and like I mentioned earlier, it is a good movie if you are a Lord of the Rings fan. like Japan and anime style animation are single-handedly keeping the 2D animation scene alive, and which is fantastic. I sincerely hope more studios take risks like this and do anime versions of popular franchises, even though they shouldn't be considered risks. I mean, anime is more popular than it's ever been, so just go for it. I would say that the War of the Rohirrim is a very good, not great addition to the cinematic Lord of the Rings franchise. It is better than the Hobbit films, but certainly doesn't stand up next to the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. It is beautifully animated. I love it fits, like it looks like Lord of the Rings, just hand drawn. It's really beautifully designed. The music is also really well done. There's an original song in the movie as well that plays during the credits, which is really good. The voice cast is really good here too. Brian Cox playing Helm Hammerhand and Gaia Wise playing Hera are the standouts. If I do have any complaints, as I think the movie is a little poorly paced, I do think that you could have trimmed about 15 minutes from here and there, and it could have had some better pacing in its second act, which does drag a little bit. Other than that, it is a really good movie. It's not the most necessary story to tell, but it's just kind of more information about this world. Nice. We find out why Helm's Deep is called Helm's Deep. Nice. So, which is pretty fun. And then I watched 5 centimeters per second, which is the movie by the same director as one movie that I got on the wheel spin this week. And Makoto Shinkai, who's the director of 5 centimeters per second, is quickly becoming one of my favorite directors, visually and story-wise. He just puts this intricate detail into the mundane things that we do in life that just make it seem so much more beautiful. There's a lot of Your Name in this movie, and kind of you can see aspects of Your Name here, but because it's got well-written characters, their relationship is really well done, and how childlike friendships and relationships can really grow distant over time. It's a really, really strong film. However, the last short is where I have some issues with this, because it's about an hour long, and it's built into 3 chapters. Like, they're like 3 short films. And the third one, like, I can compliment it because it doesn't have a predictable ending, but half of the third short is a recap of the first 2. Like, we didn't just spend 30 minutes watching the other 2/3 of this movie. He had to recap it to a pop song, which is, like, if there's anything I don't like about Shinkai, he just overuses pop music. But aside from that, it is a very good animated film comprised of 3 shorts. I'd rather watch Garden of Words again, which is his other short, which is about an hour long. I think that one is a little bit better because it's one coherent story. But this one is still a very good time. So,
nice.
Alrighty.
Yep. Jack Frost 2, because we had to watch the second one because the first one was so good, and this is even worse than the first one, but it's still so much fun to watch. We were watching this. Nadia put it on, and it looks like a high school video project, but it was just so much fun to watch it. We were laughing at everything that was happening. So unrealistic, CGI absolutely horrible. Second of it, it's not a good movie, but you should still watch it. So I gave it a 22 out of 100.
Very interesting. All right. Right. Up next for me, my last 2 here. The Great Wall. I don't know how many of you remember this, the Matt Damon movie about the Great Wall of China. I think this movie is very interesting. It's not a great movie, but like, they took a legendary Chinese director, and then they paired it with an American production and with American cast members. Like, this could have been a great meeting of the minds, a great meeting of talents kind of a thing. It just doesn't live up to any expectation. Not that anyone really had any. But biggest problem here is Matt Damon. Horribly miscast. I mean, he's not bad in the movie. He's like, it's just not a character that Matt Damon should have played. However, Pedro Pascal is way better as his companion. Also, Jing Chun, I hope I'm saying that correctly, was fun to watch. It's just like, there's not a very good script there. So like, they're doing good performances, but it's like, there's just nothing really to back it up. Where this film does succeed, though, is its visual design. Everything looks gorgeous in this movie. The use of color, even though there is a lot of visual effects, it still looks gorgeous and pretty coherent. I don't think the creature designs are that good, but at least they look decent. But at the end of the day, it's just a wasted exercise and wasted potential. I think a better script, a better lead, and not relying on your typical white savior storyline would have made this far more interesting.
Okay.
So, and lastly, just because it was on Max and I decided to watch it the other night, The Lord of the Rings. Not the Peter Jackson one. This is the 1978 animated one from Ralph Bakshi, which I don't even know if Kevin knew existed.
I did, because I saw it on Max.
There you go. My biggest question about this movie is why the hell did they have to do Sam so dirty? They made him look horrible. But this original animated film is one of the first attempts to translate Lord of the Rings into a film. There was a Hobbit film as well, and a Return of the King movie that came after this. But this one, it's a little hard to watch at points because, I'm not going to compare it to Peter Jackson because those movies stand on their own. This movie just comes off really goofy. It doesn't feel like sincere, really. The Balrog is horrible in this movie. No enemy really feels threatening. It's a very shortened and rushed version. We get the first 2 books. We get Fellowship of the Ring and 2 Towers in an hour and 45-minute movie. It's really rushed, and it's very watered down. There's the big idea that you get off this movie is I want to get as much into this movie within my budget as I can. Not let's take our time. That being said, the animation for most of this movie is fantastic. It looks really good, and there's a lot of different kinds of styles of animation that they use throughout it, and it really reminds me of or makes me think what a Disney animated Lord of the Rings could have been if they did something like that, right? It's the closest we'd ever get to it. Overall, it's a pretty weak film, but I understand how people can love it. It's really a guilty pleasure. This is the appetizer. You go to Peter Jackson for the entree.
Okay.
So, but that's it for my movies. Kevin has one more.
Oh, I actually have 2 more. I forgot to put one down, but I'll just talk about it. But this one is Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. This is a very, very interesting story because I didn't know a lot about I know him, Christopher Reeves. But I know his injury and what happened to him, but I didn't know how much he impacted the quadriplegic community, and even before that, how famous he actually was, being Superman. But I liked all of his stories being told from his kids and is the people that knew him the best, which was fantastic. It was so interesting getting to know a person that I knew very little of, but I still enjoyed watching it, and him being a real life Superman to some of these kids that are quadriplegic and everything, or have I love how they don't call it a disease. It's not a disease. They say it's not a disease because they don't want it to be cured or something like that. And that kind of hit a little bit because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be called a disease, or because I don't want to be cured of it. I want to get it situated. Sure. So I give it a 95 out of 100 because it's really good. And it's only like an hour and 45 minutes. It was fantastic to watch.
Very good.
My other movie that's not on here, I watched Harry Potter, the first one, Sorcerer's Stone, or if you're in the UK, Philosopher's Stone. And this one it was a good movie.
What did you give it?
I'll give it like an 80. So like an 80 out of 100. CGI does not hold up the troll. It looks absolutely horrible in this movie. But the physical troll, the non-CGI troll, looks fantastic in this movie. And it's a start to 7 great movies, I feel like. There's some in the middle that need some work, I feel. But the last 2 movies are fantastic. So I absolutely love it. And it's like, I've been watching the new Rockstar go over like little mystery hidden Easter eggs on YouTube about all of the Harry Potter movies, and it made me want to watch them again. And I think it still holds up today as being really, really fun to watch.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, I know you because you've been watching Home Alone recently. Do you know it's the same director as Home Alone?
Oh, I did not know. No.
Yeah, so there you go. But that is it for the movies that we watched outside the wheel spin this week. Let's go ahead and talk about our wheel spin movies this week. So, Kevin, why don't you go first here?
Yeah, I just watched this like 20 minutes ago. I watched it on stream. No, this was Blooper Bunny. This was really funny. It's Bugs Bunny's 51 and a half anniversary, but it's all bloopers. So I know it's not real or anything like that because it's all still all hand-drawn animation, but it's still funny to feel like they are real people and making these mistakes. And dude, Daffy Duck takes some hard rights at Disney and at Warner Brothers, saying that they're just going to put him with 3 other kids and call them his nephews, and how Warner Brother doesn't pay him enough money. Yeah, I was like, oh, he went there. It's so good. So I give it a 90 out of 100 just because of how fun it was.
All right. My short this week was a Woody the Woodpecker short called Wet Blanket Policy. And compared to the first one, this one was way better. There were some decent gags in this short. The animation felt like a step up from the other Woody cartoon that I saw last time. Not last week, but previously. He doesn't feel as annoying here, and it's kind of nice to see him getting back at someone who's just being terrible. But kind of weird to watch this after the New York shooting. Maybe it feels like that CEO shooter may have watched this to get back at someone for their policies. Who knows? But I'm just joking around. But it was a lot better than the other one that I watched.
Good, awesome. My first one up was Mean Girls. I give it a 77 out of 100. This is just a quotable movie that is so much fun to watch. Lindsay Lohan does an amazing job as the lead actress, but the supporting actors and actresses also do an amazing job to help lift up her character. And the gay guy, I forget his name, but he's so funny in this movie. I forgot how great he is in this movie. I wish he was in it more. But the high school drama about everything, it's just, this movie is just plain old be nice to other people, please, and that's all this is. So 77 out of 100.
I love it. First up for me was The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith and his son. It's an interesting study in contrast because I feel like Will Smith delivers one of his best performances here, like up there with King Richard. There is a resolve and a dedication to his son that is very hard to scoff at. It's really giving it his all here, and it really works. It's a shame, though, because no one in the supporting cast really feels like they're up to the same snuff as him. He's really carrying this movie. And the film is well shot, even though it's not the film that I would typically think would be a good-looking film. This one is a very good-looking film, which I really highly appreciate. However, this film feels very repetitive. And it almost feels like emotional and triumphant hero story porn at some points. Like, yes, we get it. He goes through a lot. He keeps getting kicked while he's down, and then he'll eventually get his, he'll get his day in the sun. It's kind of like a Saw movie, but for like emotional, like hardship kind of a stuff. It's a formula, and it's fully on display here. The Will Smith's performance is really what saves this movie. But by the end of the first half, I'm just so tired of all these bad things happening to him, and just seeing what inspirational reaction he has. This is the kind of movie that you recommend to your parents. Like, your parents are like, what movie should I watch? And you just go watch The Pursuit of Happiness. It doesn't play with the concept or the idea beyond like achieving the American dream type thing. Like, the American dream is far beyond dead, but the film at least attempts to give you some hope in it again, even if it feels a tad insincere. So, but your second movie is my pick for you.
Yeah, your pick for me, which was Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father. This was good, very good documentary. I kind of saw, like, I didn't see. Okay, I kind of knew where this was going, and I knew like the kind of plot twist that would happen with everything, except at the end when he actually writes it to whoever it is. But this movie is fantastic. I love how it's basically on like a VHS player the entire time. It really felt like really nostalgic and homemade, but with very good editing, and the police reports and the news reports intertwined with the homemade version of it. And I did see. Should I spoil this?
No. Please do not.
Okay, sounds good. Just go
everyone
watch
should watch this movie.
Yeah. Go watch this movie. It's a 90 out of 100, and it's a 90 out of 100 for a reason. So
there you go. Yeah, this what's funny is you mentioned that this feels homemade. Well, it was, but like it was originally designed to just be for Zachary.
Yeah.
It wasn't designed to be released, and it only got released because things that happened later in the movie. So, which is really interesting. I love that movie. It's probably the best documentary I've ever seen. 100 out of 100 for me. But your pick for me this week was Suzume, which you talked about last week, and is another Makoto Shinkai film. I really liked this movie. This movie got me into tears, which is really nice. Oh, chair parkour, man. Oh, the little chair. Again, like this is, like I kind of mentioned earlier, he blends the mundane with the fantastic. And it's so well displayed here. This is like his most epic work yet. Like this is like the most grand scale things going on. On one hand, it is very personal about a young woman and going through the loss of a loved one, but then also there is a national trauma here because Japan has gone through so many earthquakes and disasters. This is a way for the country to reckon with that a little bit as well. So it's really fantastic. The characters here are great. Suzume is a wonderful protagonist. And Sota is also a wonderful supporting character, which he has something happen to him, which I was not expecting, and it was very pleasant. There's some very epic cosmic adventure scenes that happen in this movie. They're so cool. The last act of this movie is really where it steps into gear, though, and fires on all cylinders. I think that the biggest problem with this movie, and I don't think it's as good as Your Name, and I think that the reason for that is because it lacks the intricacy that Your Name has. This one's just more of a kind of cosmic adventure fantasy, and which is really nice, and it does have some of the intricacies, things that go on with Suzume and Sota, but like not to the same level as Your Name. But I do have to say, barely any pop music in this one. Shinkai is learning, which is really nice. But it is a fantastic movie. I really highly enjoyed it. It's available to watch on Netflix and on Crunchyroll if you have either one. Absolutely fantastic. One of the better anime films I've seen in a little bit. So really enjoyed this. And they got me to watch 5 centimeters per second right after this. So I love Shinkai, and I will never get tired of watching his movies. I think I only have like 2 more to watch, and then I've seen everything. So
nice. Very cool.
But that is it for all of the films we watched for the wheel spin. So this means that it is time
for the wheel of movies of 256 movies. How many are
272.
Damn, I was close.
So go ahead. If you have any suggestions that you'd like to add to the wheel, go ahead and put them in the chat now. Although I know Kevin did put some in, or he let me know that Nadia had some. We'll see if she comments here.
Nope.
I don't know if those are. Let me see here. I'm going to double check and see if those are real.
Ding.
All right. Well, if anyone else has any they would like to put on there, go right ahead. All right. Let's see here.
Oh gosh, Joey, why did you pick that one? It just brought me back to fucking high school.
All righty. Jack Frost from 1997.
Just for you.
This is for me. And then I think you also said Jack Frost 2 as well. Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Killer Book Club. All right. And then Terror Vision.
I think Terror Vision's on there.
Well, let's find out. It is.
Yeah.
And it's just for me.
All right, Nadia.
But it is already on there. If you have something else, Nadia, go ahead and throw it in. And we have Joey here of Mice and Men from 1992. TMNT, 1990.
Is that
and
the costume ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pinky.
Right, in the 1949. This is actually, so fun fact on the quiz lady.
That's only for you because I've reviewed it.
Okay. So Joey actually got me a copy of Pinky from 1949, so I have it on DVD. So hopefully I can watch it so I can say that I've seen it.
Is it a short or a movie?
No, it's a movie.
Oh, okay.
It's let me see here. Pinky is a light-skinned black woman returns to her grandmother's house in the South after graduating from a northern nursing school. Pinky tells her grandmother that she has been passing for white while at school in the North. In addition, she has fallen in love with a young white doctor who knows nothing about her black heritage.
Ooh.
This is a movie in the 40s that came out about basically a white actor playing a woman who has black in her family tree. So it's very interesting. It's very ahead of its time. So, it's unfortunate they couldn't have cast someone who was actually a light-skinned black woman. But very interested to see the movie. I own it, and I'm very curious to see if it's any good. So,
okay.
But alrighty, no other suggestions. We'll go ahead and cut it off here. And we'll go ahead and do some spinning. Kevin, we'll do you first. And do you want a short first?
Yeah.
All right. Let's hope we actually land on a short this time, which would be great. So that is not a short, but we'll land and see which one's the short.
Oh, man, I wanted to see a puppy do parkour.
I mean, you can always watch it outside of the thing. You have Baddie Baseball.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
Short. Kevin is a sports guy, so we'll see how that lines up with his passions there. We'll go ahead and spin it for me. We'll do a short for me first as well. And can't do that just yet. But It looks like this one will be To Duck or Not To Duck will be my short this week. Hopefully it's a Looney Tunes Shakespeare. Alrighty. Maybe. And we'll go ahead and shuffle it up. And Kevin.
Yep.
Your
my
first
turn.
movie. What are you hoping for?
I don't know, actually. I liked both my movies last week, so let's see.
Okay. You're watching Krampus.
I was literally thinking about this movie. I was like, should I say Krampus? So cool. I'm watching a horror movie.
I was gonna watch that outside the wheel spin this week, and I just didn't have time. Alrighty, my first movie. I have not seen it though.
Oh, okay.
I do know generally what it's about, but I haven't seen it.
Pretty good.
Alrighty, and my movie this week is Last Action Hero, which is a movie I've been waiting to watch for quite a while.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get the chopper.
Yeah. Alright. We'll go ahead and spin it one more time. This is Kevin's
last movie.
Kevin is watching Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Another kind of documentary.
Hey, nothing like if there's
no,
any
I'm not
genre,
saying it's bad.
If there's any genre that's like the least watched between you and I, it's probably documentary. Not because we don't like them, but just because usually we kind of go for a narrative stuff. So, alrighty, and my movie this week. I don't know. I got an action movie, so I'm hoping for something a little bit different, but I'll take anything. And it looks like it is A Little Bit of Heaven from 2011. What kind of movie is this?
Couldn't tell you.
A Little Bit of Heaven. Let's see here. All right. It's a rom-com. All right. It's been a while since I've had a rom-com. But the reviews are not that strong, so we'll see. Alrighty. Well, no pick for you or me this week, which is kind of refreshing. We're clearing out this list slowly but surely. So, all right. So Kevin's movies. Kevin has the short Baddie Baseball, followed by the horror film Krampus, right in time for Christmas, and then Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. As for me, I have the short To Duck or Not To Duck, the action film Last Action Hero, and the rom-com A Little Bit of Heaven. So changing it up this week, which is kind of nice. So that is going to be it for the wheel spin this week. Sounds like a Matt Walls pick, probably. It's a shame Matt isn't here. Where is Matt?
Yeah, he's probably doing some trucking things.
Maybe. Fox Pixar had 3 picks. You did, but I did a peruse of Letterboxd, and they are not on there. Just a reminder: anything you suggest has to be on Letterboxd, or we cannot cover it. Just a rule. We've said this multiple times. So if you don't follow that rule, I'm going to keep ignoring it. So just so you know. But anyhow, that's going to be it for the show this week. But we do have some things to talk about, which is going to be regarding the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Because next Wednesday is, a minor independent holiday
season.
Yeah, so we don't want to be streaming on Christmas Day. So we can either stream on Christmas Eve or on the day after, on the 26th. What works better for you, Kevin?
Let me check my schedule.
So that way we kind of let you guys know ahead of time, and then I will make a post on the channel kind of dictating when we're going to be streaming.
I can do Thursday. I work until 4:15.
Cool. So we'll do Thursday the 26th for next week. And then as for the week after, because New Year's Day is also, we don't want to stream on New Year's Day. I'll probably be hungover. But what does Thursday work for you as well on that?
I don't have my schedule yet for Thursday.
All right. So that will be kind of up in the air for now.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll probably shoot for Thursday that week because Tuesday is also New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And I think I might have family stuff going on. And I also want to drink. So, I'd rather not do this stream drunk. It'd be really funny. But it would also just not be very professional. And I strive to have some little bit of professionalism in our live stream. Just a little bit. Mostly Kevin's more professional than I am. But it's okay.
No.
But anyhow, that's going to be it for the live stream today. We do have a new movie club coming out on Friday, which is going to be on probably one of our most anticipated movies that we've got to talk about in a while, which is 2001: A Space Odyssey. So we'll be talking about that on Friday, so make sure you're subscribed so you know when that goes live, about 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And of course, this show goes live every Wednesday, except for the next 2 weeks, at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But next week we'll be live on Thursday the 26th. So I will go ahead and send a reminder out in the posts for that. But that's going to be it. Of course, we're not going to see all of you until after the holidays next week. So I hope you have a very wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Hopefully it is a very fun time and you get exactly what you're looking for. And if you are not celebrating or not kind of getting together with anyone, which I know a lot of people do spend the holiday alone, I hope you have a great day and you're able to find something, a hobby, something that you're able to do to stay happy. I know that the holidays, especially like for me, when a lot of people have mental health issues, the holidays are a very tough time. So I hope that you are able to find some joy and some happiness in, the days coming. And if you do need any help, there are plenty of resources out there if you do need help. I know it's kind of a downer to end on, but it's a very important to me. Mental health issues are very important. So if you do have any issues or need any help, there are plenty of resources this time of year. So let's leave on a little bit more of a high note. I hope you all have a fantastic holiday, and we will see you on Thursday next week. So until next time, remember to keep those eyes on the screen. Have a great holiday, everyone.